Hey there, fellow leaders. Welcome back to Pathway to Leadership, the ultimate destination for unlocking your leadership potential. I am really thrilled that you're here with us today because we're going to be talking about something extremely critical to your leadership success. It's the three most critical things you need to make sure you're doing every single day that you're on the pathway to leadership. And guess what? If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope today that I'll earn your subscribe. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and, of course, subscribe, because that tells the algorithm that we're a strong community here at Pathway to Leadership. And I really do appreciate your support. So let's just jump right into it. What are the three things that are most important for your pathway to leadership? Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is planning. Good leadership rests on the foundation of good planning. To lead your team to success, you have to be good at thinking strategically, anticipate challenges, and focus on the things that are going to make success. You have to have a clear vision of where you want to take your department or your company. No matter what position you're in, that clear vision is extremely important. So, to help you with that, let's take where you're at right now and let's envision what 3 years from now looks like. Yes, in your mind's eye, where do you see you, your department, your company? Where are you going to be? That's the vision. It has to be compelling and it has to be communicated well. And you can't do any of that until you learn the very first skill set that we're talking about. It's planning. Part of that planning process is to come up with short-term and long-term goals. Remember, you can't just go out there and say, hey, here's my big vision, and we're all going to get there together. No, you have to set little goals, little steps of success along the way so that everybody is organized on what the next goal is. And as you start to achieve them, you have small successes along the way. Ultimately, you're always going to be chasing that big goal. But unless you set up and plan for the small, little strategic goals, you'll end up most likely failing at achieving the big goal. So take yourself a little bit of time and put some planning into what your vision entails. I'm a strong believer. Until you write it down and put it on paper, it's just a thought, an idea, and honestly, it's not real. So take a piece of advice. Write it down. Once you write it down on a piece of paper, now it's tangible and now it becomes real. And then with that, also write down all the small little goals that will add up to achieving that big one. Then those now become real. And it's easier to share with others. They're going to think the same thing. It's written down. It's right here on paper. It's now real. I can wrap my head around it. Now, before we get into the skill number 2, I want to remind you about the Pathway to Leadership book. The Pathway to Leadership training manual is now available at Amazon. All you have to do is go down in the description below, click the link. It's going to take you to my bookstore at pathwaytolead.us. And you can order it directly there. We have the Kindle version and we have a paperback version. So the second skill we need to talk about is measuring. So effective measuring is truly the key to understanding what's actually really working. Metrics are not just about the numbers. They actually paint a picture of how you're doing on your path to your goals. These metrics tell you a lot about your leadership, your employees, your customers, your customer satisfaction. There's so much to be learned by the metrics, and therefore you can start measuring your success and developing a course correction if needed to make sure that you're going for your ultimate achievement, which is the vision and goals that you set for that 2 to 3 year position down the road. So start getting familiar with the metrics that are needed to be used as a tool so that you can track the progress that's needed, get your team to where they need to be. So like I said before, if I've earned it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And most importantly, understand this. I put a new video out every week, and on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m., we have a live discussion right here at Pathway to Leadership. We have a community of leaders that we can talk with and engage with in the chat room, ask questions. We have a theme, but you can come in, subscribe to the channel, and be part of that chat every single week to help you on your pathway to leadership. Now let's get into the last most important skill. The last skill is the evaluation skill. This is the most important to leaders' success. You need to regularly evaluate your employees, their progress, and the projects that they're working on. This is your opportunity to provide constructive feedback. Again, part of being a leader is to develop others. The only way you know how and when to develop someone is by doing an evaluation. And plus, having one-on-one conversations with your team members helps to build that strong relationship, because unless you have followers, you can never be a leader. And these meetings foster an engagement, a sense of belonging, and being part of the process. And unless you're evaluating constantly, you are never going to get your team members to develop to be the best that they can be. When your team members feel that you're investing time and energy into their success, I guarantee you're going to build a level of loyalty from your team members that when you really need them and the chips are down, they're going to be there for you. So to recap, to be effective at evaluations, you must have open and honest communication and a strong commitment to your team's development. So there you have it. 3 major pillars for successful leadership: planning, measuring, and evaluating. By mastering these 3 elements, you're going to be well on your way on your pathway to leadership. And remember, it's not all about your success. Your job as a leader is to make sure your team learns to develop and grow and be successful under your guidance. So until next time, stay inspired. Keep honing your leadership skills. And remember our principle number 1 at Pathway to Leadership: learn and teach. And don't forget, drop in the description below and hit that link to the bookstore at Pathway to Leadership so you can order your copy of the Pathway to Leadership Training Manual. I'm John with Pathway to Leadership, and I will see you next time.